This is Strayhog Relica, and I am getting ready to start a playthrough of Planet Crafter. Okay, on the screen, you see the current settings for the playthrough that you'll be watching. I'll be playing. This is my Primus stream, so it's Prime. This game mode is set to Intense. This means that if I die, I will lose all the items that I have in my backpack. They'll be gone. My terraformation pace will be reduced a little bit. My vitals will be depleted a little more quickly. Power consumption will be a little higher than usual, and I'll get a few extra weather events along the way. So this is already built. I'm about to start. Settings all correct and ready to go for an intense playthrough. I'm going to go ahead and select Primus Stream, and we're going to get going.
Emergency. Correct your trajectory.
All right. Here we go. Ooh, this is going to hurt. Okay. Nice crash land. Any landing you can walk away from. All right. So we're on our assigned planet. That's good. Mission is to advance the terraformation process. You need to generate oxygen, heat, and pressure. And I'll show you how to do that as we go through here. I also have a goal of reaching blue skies, a blue atmosphere, at 175,000 terraformation index. And there is a formula for that. If you care to look it up in the wiki, you can learn more about that. I use the fandom wiki myself for this one. Okay, I'm going to look in this container, which it has some food for us. That's good. No water, so I'm going to have to grab some ice to make water. And it's got a lerma seed, so I've got a plant. That's good, because you need those plant seeds or plant seedlings to make your oxygen generators. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is collect some materials to make myself a T1 backpack and a T1 oxygen tank. So it's going to take some iron and some cobalt and a little magnesium, and then while I'm out there, I also might grab some silicon, because I need that for the various chips that I will need to get started. And again, I can turn ice into water, which will become important. I've never quite understood this, but if you have 2 cobalts, you can make a bottle that'll hold oxygen, which is handy, because if you run out of oxygen, you die. And that's sad, and we don't want that to happen. All right. Okay, I'm going to run out here. I don't need titanium just yet. Here's a cobalt. I'm going to need one of those. Oops. So basically, I'm going out here. I'm looking at things. It tells me what it is, and then I can... the standard is left click, and I can absorb that material into my little tool, my multi-tool. Run back here before I run out of oxygen and see if I make myself a backpack. Actually, I'm going to make the oxygen tank first. Oops, I forgot to grab magnesium. Let's see if I can see some. Magnesium looks like a little 3 fingers sticking up out of the ground. I'm not seeing it handy, which is weird. There's some. See it right there? You got 3 little nodes sticking up. I'm going to grab that. While I'm out here, I'll grab some more iron. Getting full. I got enough cobalt. Don't lose your capsule. It's a good way to die. I'll grab this ice too, since I'm going to need to get some water here at some point. Alright, then I run back in here, and it replenishes my oxygen supply. It goes all the way back to 100. Now, I build this T1 oxygen tank, though. And I go into my inventory, which is tab on the standard controls. And I can equip it by using left click. And now, my oxygen capacity goes up to 145. That's almost a 50% increase, so I can travel a little further from my little safety boat here. All right, I'm also going to make a backpack. And I'm going to equip that, left click, and now I have another line of inventory available to me. I'm going to go ahead and make this water out of the ice. So I've got one of those in my inventory, because that's going to come in handy. I'll leave the food in the air here because this is really my only place to hide, so I'm going to need some materials to make my chips, and then I'm going to start manufacturing a place to actually, of my very own. I will make a little house, and I will live in it. Silicon and magnesium is what I need. So I'll run around here and grab some silicon and magnesium. I'll always take some extra iron. Okay. Iron is very valuable at the beginning of the game. You need it to build almost everything. I just don't want to fill up my backpack because I still need that silicon. And magnesium. Man, there's a lot of iron here. I forgot how much there is. Okay, this is amazing. I'm seeing almost no silicon. There's some. It's a little black tar drop. Silicon. And there's some magnesium. My oxygen level is low. I'm going to run back to my little house. A little safety pod. And if I take it a little too close, right, you start to hear my heartbeat. And then the screen goes black and then I die. So we don't want to do that. Okay, I've got just enough to make a construction chip, I think. So I'll do that. Now, I'm gonna make I got a lot of iron, so I'm gonna need to use that. So what I'm gonna do is open my build menu, which is Q in the standard controls. And I will build myself a little living compartment. I just need 2 iron and the titanium. You'll see that the iron is bright and the titanium is dull. That means I have the iron in my inventory, but I don't have the titanium, so I'll need to pick up some titanium to make that. But this little cube is amazing. You can build it, but you can't get into it. You have to also build a door. So I've got enough iron, but I'm still going to need some more silicon and titanium to build a door. So I can't really have a place to live until I can make both my living compartment and a living compartment door. Okay, there's some titanium. And there's some more titanium. So I'm going to need some silicon. And what I'm probably going to do, I want to make my first house a little farther away from that starting spot, because I kind of know that when we start to get water, this is going to be a really pretty area, but it's going to be full of water. So I'm going to set up my first base a little further afield and a little higher up. Okay, I can make a living compartment door now. I'm going to go ahead and run around this spot here, and I'm going to go ahead and make this living compartment. I'm going to turn around, and I'll talk why I'm turning around in a moment, and then I'm going to hit my build menu, theoretically, and not die. I'm going to run inside. Okay. So you heard the heartbeat, and you saw the screen go black. Don't give up. If you're aimed at the door, you might make it, so just keep going. That's a tip. I don't have another silicon yet, but we're pretty close to where I want to build my first location. I'm gonna grab some more iron. Gee whiz, silicon seems to be really in short supply. I'm gonna need this iron anyway, so I'm not too worried about picking it up. The iron, it comes in very handy. Oh, there we go. To make wind turbines, which you just saw there on the screen. It came up and said low power, warning, low power. So it's always handy to have a little place to put your wind turbines. So I'd like to throw down a foundation. So I hit Q and build a foundation. It's made of 1 iron. And then I'm going to go ahead and make these wind turbines, which are also made of 1 iron. And my hydration is getting low, so I got that warning. And I'm build 4 of these guys. My oxygen's getting low too. So, hang on. You said I could build there, but now you're saying I can't. Okay, that's not going to be good. I'm going to... Oh. Okay. That's okay. I forgot to carry an oxygen with me. I was only carrying water. And that messed me up. So all my inventory's gone. All that stuff I collected is gone. And I've died for the first time in a long time, actually. In the tents, I usually don't die. But this might be a little distracting with the whole broadcast thing. Alright, so I've got some water. I'm going to need some oxygen. Got a little bit of I need that silicon. My gosh, so I can't find any silicon. There's a couple. That's good. I'll take those. I'll take that chip too. And water. I'll take the water. I'm going to need to get some oxygen as well. So I'm going to need a couple of cobalt. So I'll grab these. And then I'll use that to run back to my other location. And grab the food. So my food will start to get low here shortly. So here's a T2 craft station, which I'm going to put in my corner here. Now the craft station, the T2, gives me something extra. I get this exoskeleton, which I can build to increase my equipment capability, capacity, which is important because right now I only have these 4 slots, and I'm going to fill them up in just a moment. Go ahead and build grab a titanium because I need one of those. And another iron. I'm going to drink this water. Grab that ice. And even more iron. Okay. Now these are actually meteors coming in, and meteors are handy, but you don't want to get hit by them. They can cause damage. They're really about the only adversary you have in the game, other than just the terrain itself. Getting lost is dangerous because you can lose your lose your way and lose your capability of getting back to resources. So I'm going to go ahead and build a screen. This is a blueprint screen. The blueprint screen allows me to unlock those chips that I find in random places. See, in my inventory I've got this blueprint microchip, and I use the blueprint screen to unlock it. I've got the blueprint screen here, so I click on it. Now I can decode this microchip, and usually I get either a microchip, T1 mining, or the other item at tier 1, which is can't remember what it's called right now, but they're like leg augments that allow you to go faster. Okay, let me grab a couple of these things. Head back over to my spot. I'm going to go ahead and expand my world here. I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple of more locations. A couple more living compartments, so I've got some room to spread out. I'm going to need to start my terraforming soon because I do need to get my oxygen terraforming going, at least with that lerma seed, so that I can eventually get enough oxygen in the air to make my own food. Yeah, sometimes I wonder about the logic, but that's the way it goes. I'm going to I can't deconstruct the storage crate yet because I haven't made my deconstruct chip, which means I need a silicon again. I don't think I've ever had such a surfeit of everything but silicon. So much iron, so much magnesium. But I have almost no silicon. There's some up there. You can recognize it. That little tar blob on the distance, in the distance. Oxygen levels low. I'm gonna head back. All right, I am back. I can make my deconstruction chips and equip that. Now I'm also going to want to make this T1 exoskeleton, so I need even more silicon. So I'm going to run around up here and see if I can find some. I don't think I've gone very far in this particular direction. So I'm going to run out, see if I can find some silicon. More iron. Silicon, okay. Can I get a couple of these things? Oh my gosh. I have never seen such a low turnout on silicon. I've got plenty of iron though. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna run back to my little base here that I'm building. This is really a starting base, a little bit higher, so I can use it for a while, even when the waters start to come. Which will be a while, but, you know, plan ahead. Of course, submerged buildings can also be kind of fun. Alright, now to equip this, I'm going to have to unequip my oxygen tank, so I'm going to left-click on that. I'm going to equip the exoskeleton, and you'll see that I get another row of gear containers or options. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in there. Okay, and the T1 microchip, that's going to require aluminum. So there probably were some aluminum from those asteroids that came down. I'm going to keep one of these waters, and I'm going to keep this oxygen making cobalt. All right, here I'm going to make my oxygen capsule out of cobalt, and I'm going to make some water. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make one more. My food is getting low, so I need to run back to my other location, but I'm going to try to put this last wind turbine up that I was trying to make when I died horribly earlier. It was a sad situation. All right, now I'm going to, well, actually I'm going to top off my oxygen. Okay. Now I'm going to run back to the little capsule. And capsule. And it should be down this way. And I'm definitely keeping my eye out for silicon on the way because it just seems to be nowhere. Ah, there's one. Okay, I'm going to grab that. Here's another one. Of course, now that I don't need them, I'll start finding them everywhere. I'm going to grab that ice. Okay, now I'm going to run in here. I'm going to go ahead and make this ice into water. And I don't have two of those, so I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff. Take it all. I'll go ahead and leave that container here, just in case I need it in the future. I could reduce it to an iron, but I have a lot of iron right now, so I'm not really worried about the iron. Iron is pretty much everywhere. I'm going to grab a couple of these silicon while I'm down here. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere now. Look at that. That's funny. My inventory is full of silicon. Murphy's Law. Whatever you need, you can't find. When you don't need it, it's everywhere. I don't know who this Murphy guy is, but he has some bad luck. All right, now I'm going to make a couple more of these screens, I think, if I can. I do need to put some things down first because I'm going to need some iron. So I'm going to put the food in here. I'm going to put 2 of the oxygen and 1 of the water in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the lerma seed in there for a moment. We're going to talk about the lerma seed. I need to make a vegetube, so that's probably going to be my first order of business. Because I need to get that oxygen level going, and then I'll show you the terraformation screen, which lets you see where you are. So to make a vegetube, I'm going to need to make I need an iron, an ice, and a magnesium. I've got iron and ice here, and a magnesium as well. So I'm going to grab those out of my container. And I'm going to grab the vegetube that I put in here. Not the vegetube, the lerma seed. It's kind of a little seedling. I'm going to build a vegetube here in the corner. And I'm going to pop that plant in there. So now I get a little bit of oxygen going. 0.12 parts per quadrillion per second. That's amazingly small amount. But, you know, it's 1 lerma seed. What do you want? Okay. So now I want to make, I want to make another couple of screens and some more storage containers. So I'm actually going to put a couple of storage containers over here. So for that I need an iron for each one. And then I also want to make my energy level screen, which is going to require some magnesium as well. And then I want to make my terraformation screen, which is going to require an additional cobalt. So it's pretty much everything but titanium at this point that I need. So I'm going to run out here, grab a little magnesium, and grab a little iron and a cobalt. Oh, I'll take 2. Why not? They're small. All right, another iron. I'll grab an ice. And I've got plenty of silicon. Okay. Oh, look, another silicon. All right. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you have to move a little bit to get that spot. I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct this thing because I left it empty, but it didn't have a deconstruct chip at the time. So now I can zap it by changing my multi-tool. The multi-tool itself, I change with my middle mouse wheel. I'm not certain what that maps to if you don't have a mouse wheel, but I can roll my mouse wheel and it changes from my torch, which I don't have, to my hammer, which destroys things, and my hammer that builds things. So right now I'm going to go ahead and make a couple chests, a couple of containers. So I'm going to make 2. So when I build this one, I'm going to hold down on my control key. And when I do that, it automatically selects that pattern again, that blueprint again. So I can make 2 of them in a row or more if I keep holding the control key. All right, so on the above this, I'm going to go ahead and make a power screen. Oops, I need some of my silicon. All right, I'm going to go back into queue. I'm going to make this power screen for my energy levels. I'm going to grab this unlock, and I'm going to put it over here because I'm going to move that container here in a moment. It's going to become inconvenient. Okay, so I'm going to grab that. Oops, hang on, need water. And I'm going to need some food. These space foods only restore 40 points. You have 1 to 100 on your health bar. So there's no harm in eating them ahead of time. Let me go ahead and do that because it will release me some space. Well, it'll give me some space for eating my space food. All right. Need to make this terraformation guy, which means I need a silicon. And I'm going to pop that up on the wall. Okay, I'm going to put this as high as I can so I can see stuff. All right, so right now I have 25 terraforming index because I've 26 because I've got 26 parts per quadrillion of oxygen. I don't have any heat or pressure yet. I do have 2.58 kilowatts of energy available, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a drill. Each drill takes 0.6 energy. So I need iron and titanium. So now is when I need the titanium. I also can use that silicon and a couple magnesium to make myself a torch, which will come in handy when I get into dark spaces. It also helps you differentiate things like rocks from iron in the dark. Okay. There's some titanium. Alright, so I've got 2 titanium. I need a couple iron. Okay. Okay, my oxygen's getting a little low. And there's some iron. I'm going to run back now. I'll go by over this way because I think there's another iron or 2 on my way. Oh, that's a titanium. I'll take that anyway. I'm going to run back to my house. You're going to hear that heartbeat here again. I'm just going to aim myself at that door. And keep running, keep running. It gets dark, and then you're okay. Okay, so I'm going to go outside and I'm going to make myself a couple of drills. I'll put them up here. They're going to kind of lean to the side, which kind of irritates me, but that's the way it goes. I've got 2 drills going there. Now I need some more materials to make a heating unit. I'm going to need to find iridium. So here, I'll jump in here real quick and I'll hit my Q. So a T1 heater requires an iridium, an iron, and a silicon. So right now I don't have any iridium and I haven't run across any. But there is a wreck up there, so I probably can get some out of that. So I'm going to go ahead and head up that way. I'm also going to see if there's any blue chests around here. I don't really recall. I need that iron. So I'm going to make another little hidey hole a little closer to my wreck. Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe I won't be making a hidey hole. I do need actual materials. Alright. Here's a titanium. I've got a titanium. One. I got 1 titanium. I need 2. And a couple more iron. 1. And there's another one. Okay. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take this because I'm about to build on top of it. I'm going to hit Q. I'm going to make a living compartment. Again, I'm going to bring it up high. Everything floats in this game, so you can't quite set it on the ground, but you can get close so it doesn't look too silly. All right. I need another iron to make another T2 crafter. And the T2 crafter comes in handy because you can make oxygen on the oxygen capsules out of titanium, and you can make water. It'll actually melt ice to make water. It's a very, very fancy piece of equipment. All right, I'm going to grab a couple of iron since I got them here. I'm going to make myself a couple of chests so I can store things temporarily. My little hidey hole here. So here's my storage crate. Hold down the control key so I can build 2 of them. I'm going to go ahead and make an oxygen and a water. And I'm going to put these other 2 things here. And I'm going to run in and see if I can find some stuff. Usually you're looking for blue chests or larger gray containers. But oftentimes there's other more subtle containers of things. And I have not made my torch. All right, but I'll grab this iron since I can. And let's see, I think I've got a magnesium and a silicon in the chest, so I just need another magnesium. There's one right there. So now you've seen exactly why you need that torch. It's dark inside those wrecks, and you could lose your way pretty fast in the dark.